Hey guys, Andy here. I know I have not really been making videos in a while, and not for lack of trying. I have done some recording quite a few different times, and just things haven't worked out. I moved back to Michigan about 10 months ago. Worked at one job and just a couple of days, and when I worked one whole shift without a break, and it was through an employment agency, I did not go back the next day. And I called the employment agency and they're like, well, you didn't go to work today. I said, no, I didn't. I said, because I worked a full 8-hour shift yesterday and never got one break. I said, that's not right. And they kind of got a little snooty with me, and I said, that's against the law. I said, if I need to contact the labor board, they're like, oh, no. So they stopped and they got me another job, and this is a great job. I love this job. Best job I think I've ever had. So yeah, just that, and over the winter I rolled my Jeep, my 2007 Jeep Liberty, rolled her over 3/4 of the way, and had to fight with the insurance company and do all that, and I paid $8,000 for that Jeep, and I ended up getting almost $6,000 back, and I'd had it almost 3 years. So I think I got a good deal there. Now I have a 2014 Jeep Patriot. But that's not what this video is about. I seen this in Kentucky, but I noticed it even more moving back to Michigan. These woods here, when I grew up, up there's the family home. I grew up here from the time I was 3. And before that, I lived about 10 miles away in a little town called Nashville. Not Nashville, Tennessee, Nashville, Michigan. But one thing I've noticed is these woods aren't as full of trees as they were when I was a child. And what trees are here are dead. Like this one. Well, they're not all dead, but a lot of them are. That one there in the center of the screen is dead. That one there, not the one on the right, that's an electric pole. But the one there in the center is dead. Now this old beech tree, she's been here a lot of years. She's still alive, but it's like the woods are dying. And you can see 2 trees here, dead, down. Oh, actually leaning on the electrical wires. Wow. Yeah, I didn't see that. That is not good. I might have to call consumers on that one. That is not good at all. There's actually 3 trees on the electrical wires. Ooh. Yeah. And they're just rotted off at the base. Wow, let me put this camera on pause for a second and get my phone out and take a picture so I can maybe send this to the electrical company, because that is not good. Wow. But yeah, you see here another big dead tree. All right, we'll be back with you in a second. All right, I've got my picture of these trees leaning on the power lines. But if you look over here, I mean, just piles and piles of dead trees. When I was a kid, I grew up hunting back in here. Rabbit, deer, pheasant, we more or less, you hunt them in the fields. But I mean, I've shot hundreds of rabbits back in here, and I mean, you couldn't walk through here. There was so many trees. We had dogs that would run the rabbits. We would stand out in the more open areas, and the dogs would run the rabbits back to us. But now, I mean, you look, all the trees are just, they're dying. I mean, I don't know if it's the chemtrails, the government's spraying. Get across that creek here. But yeah, I don't know if it's the chemtrails that the government's spraying that's killing the trees. The evil of the world. I firmly believe that the evil of the world affects the health of the earth. I'm a firm believer in that. And this world isn't getting any better in any big hurry. It's just not good at all. Even the animals, you know, look at the deer. The deer are dying from this, what, I don't know what, what is this deer disease? The wasting disease that the deer have got. I mean, when I grew up, all the deer were nice and healthy and running around, and I mean, you can see there's deer here. Plenty of deer tracks coming down to drink out of this bigger stream. Actually, some nice deer tracks. Must be a good couple of good bucks there. But this wasting disease, you know, I see deer driving home from work a lot that, I mean, they look like a shedding dog almost. Their hair's all matted and falling out because they're just so sick. And I mean, they can't even hardly run. I had one day that was on the side of the road. Get through these prickers here. I had one day that was on the side of the road that I drove right up beside the deer within, I don't know, 15 or 20 feet in my Jeep. And the deer was so sick that it just sat there and looked at me. Yeah, see? More dead trees. Just everywhere. I just can't believe it. When I was growing up, I come back in these woods and you'd be lucky if you see a dead tree. Now there's so much dead down wood back here that could heat the house for 20 years. But back to that deer. Come up on that deer, and he's, I mean, basically just standing on the other side of the ditch, on the side of the road, and he didn't do nothing. Just stand there and look at me. Hair's all matted looking, look like it's, you know, basically falling out in chunks, like he'd had frickin' chemo or something. And I honked the horn. Deer didn't do anything. Stood there and looked at me. So I put my Jeep in reverse and punched it and spun the tires, and the deer ran maybe 10 yards away, and he didn't run fast, and stopped and turned and looked at me. Finally, after doing a couple burnouts and laying on the horn, it ran off about another 30 yards, and I went ahead and left and went on home. But yeah, I just can't believe these woods. A big old tree there is dead. Second tree, the one in the back, dead. Tree here, dead. This tree almost looks like some kind of a birch. I don't know. Yeah, I think it probably is. Some kind of a birch. I'll have to try that here. Put it in my pocket. But yeah, I just can't believe all the dead trees. Here, you know, a couple more over there. Almost seems like there's more dead trees than alive. So if anybody's got an idea of what's going on with these trees, let me know. Trying to figure a way around here. I don't want to go down here. This is a swampy area. So, used to be all willows back in there, but I don't really see any now, but it's still a little early in spring. So, oh, prickers, prickers, prickers. Trying not to tear up my jacket, but I'm getting some thorns in it. And I don't want to get my feet wet. What I want to do is I want to get back in here. There used to be an old mulberry tree back here. And I don't know if it's here anymore. But I'm trying to get back in here and see. It's been probably 30 years. Probably maybe even closer to 35 years since I've been back in here. Yeah, another big old dead tree leaning on another dead tree. Another dead tree down behind there. Just dead, rotted off. I know they've got a lot of these beetles that are eating, what is it, birch bark beetles that are eating a lot of the trees' inner cambium out and killing them. But, I mean, I just can't believe this. I mean, just look, there's piles. Look up over there. On that bank, nothing but dead down trees. And I mean, the ones that are still standing are dead. These are both dead. Great big huge tree. Huge old tree, dead. Oh, there's another one growing up next to it that's dead. Smaller one. I mean, it's like half the trees are dead. Look at that big old dead one. Fell down. One here, dead, fell down. One here, dead. Another big one back there, dead. If anybody's got a clue as what's going on, why these trees are dying, let me know. Because that's definitely not good, you know. We live off these trees. They make our oxygen. And there's just, I mean, that is just a pile of dead trees over there. I can't believe it. Here too. Just piles and piles of dead trees. One leaning there, dead. That old mulberry tree was right back here in this corner. Right on the very corner of this patch of woods in this field. See here? Dead. Just broke off and fell over. Another one here, leaning. The only reason it's up there is the other trees are holding it, but it's dead. The bark is falling off. Totally dead. Here, dead. There, dead. there, dead. All three of them dead. Here, broke off 12 feet up, 14 feet up, but it's dead. Even the stump is dead. It broke off because it's dead. This one here looks kind of healthy up top. It's not. It's dead. You can see the bugs got in there and killed it. The tree is dead. Another one here, dead. There's more dead trees than alive ones. And I don't think that old mulberry tree's here. You can see this one here is dead. That old mulberry tree would have been right here. And I don't see it. So apparently it's dead. Just like all the rest of them. Even that one there in the center. Great big oak tree. All dead. Yeah, that mulberry would have been right here. And actually, I'm thinking that they've widened this field out because I remember it seems like it came out farther. So they might have even cut it down years ago. But yeah, that mulberry would have been right here where this tree is. That's all the upper limbs are got the bark peeling off. It's dying. So we're gonna hike on back here. There used to be a pond back here. It's been a lot of years since I've been back in here, but I'll go see if that old pond's back here. Well, I didn't find the old pond. It's all swampland in there now. There used to be all grass around it back in the day. Great big old leeches in there, 6-8 inches long. But I did find the old sugar shack. I can't believe this thing is still standing. I mean, when I found this, I was probably around 10 years old. So this thing, I haven't seen this old sugar shack in 40 years. And it's still standing. I mean, barely. She's leaning. Oh, there ain't even no, yeah. There ain't even the stove in it anymore. There used to be a stove in here. Somebody probably scrapped it out for the steel. You can see a lot of coal down here. They must have burned coal in the old sugar shack, but why there's tires cut in half in there, I wouldn't know. And the way that wall's leaning, I'm definitely not going inside. But yeah, these trees are the only thing holding the old bugger up. Huh. Yeah, this used to be a sugar shack back in the day. Pretty neat. Somebody's been back here though, because there's firewood cut up, and definitely not for in here. And why would somebody cut tires in half or cut one side in half? I don't know. Makes no sense to me, but just kind of neat to come back here and find this old stuff. I'll be back out to the road here soon, and we'll be on the walk back home. But another dead tree here, right in front of me. The only thing that's holding it up is the other trees. I just can't believe all the dead trees. Here from this angle, you can see the old top that they had on the sugar shack to let all the steam out. Pretty wild. I can't believe it's still standing after all them years. It's barely still standing, but it's still standing. Like I said, it's 40 years ago when I found this thing, way back here in the woods. And it's not going to be standing for much longer. Pretty neat. Well, I'm heading back out to the road here, and we'll continue the conversation on the way home. Here's a stream. I don't know if I videoed that in the woods that I crossed, but more trees just dead everywhere. As I said, I'd get back with you when I was almost back home up here. I probably did, I don't know, 3-mile hike. Pretty neat. But yeah, everybody talks about the ash borer beetles killing the trees, but they kill ash trees, right? And then I know now in somebody I watch, I forget their YouTube channel, they moved to Alaska, and they're talking about the what is it, spruce bark beetles or something like that are killing the spruce trees. Well, there ain't no spruce here. If there is, there's very few far between. And all these dead trees are definitely not ash. I mean, this one here is basswood, because that's that piece that I cut off there. You can see right there where I cut a piece off for bow drill. So that's basswood. I mean, you can see the color resemblance from that to that. That's a basswood tree. And yeah, I mean, give me your thoughts, your comments on what do you think? Is the earth dying? Are we killing the earth? Or is the evil of man killing the earth and coming Armageddon and Revelations, end times, end of the Bible? I mean, the Bible says at the end of times it will be as it was in Noah's times, corruption and homosexuality and all these other evil sins. But not only that, the earth was bad in the time of Noah, and God washed it clean, and it all restarted. You know, everybody says, oh, it was glaciers that made Lake Michigan and Niagara Falls and the Grand Canyon over millions and millions of years, because a little bit of water and millions and millions of years is the secret equation. Well, I'll tell you what, if you flood the whole earth over, a whole lot of water, over the period of a few months, till God dried the earth back up again, a whole lot of water can create the Grand Canyon in a very short period of time, along with Lake Michigan and everything else that they say is created by glaciers over millions and millions of years. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But yeah, it just puzzles me. All these dead trees. You can see that one right there, center screen, is dead. Bark's falling off. I mean, even this one here, center screen, left-hand one looks okay, but if you look farther up, the bark's falling off. It's dying. It's dead. So, yeah, leave your comments. Tell me what you guys think. I'm curious to hear about it, but I guarantee you these aren't all ash trees. I mean, I tapped these trees for maple syrup on this hill coming up to the house. I tapped a lot of these trees for maple syrup as a kid, boiling on the wood stove in the house. And I'm telling you, they're not ash trees. A lot of them are maple trees, and they're just dead. You can see that one, center screen. Only thing that's keeping it from falling in the road is the tree it's leaning on. Here, dead. So tell me what you guys think. I will be getting more videos out soon. I've got a really special video planned. My boss tells me I'm crazy, I'm gonna end up getting hurt or killed, but I don't think so. I think I've got it planned out all right. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think, and we'll catch you in the next video. One last little update here. I got back to the house and got on the phone and called Consumers Energy and told them about the situation with the 3 trees on the power lines. And lo and behold, 20 minutes later, maybe not even 20 minutes, this guy shows up. So I walked down there and showed him what was going on, and it's been 10 minutes now and he's still here, so I'm thinking somebody's coming, because he told me that that line out there is 4,800 volts, and he seemed to be pretty concerned about those 3 trees leaning on that line. He said they might have to cut the power to this whole section. I don't know where they would do that, because there's no power station around here that I know of. So I don't know. I know their booms on most of their trucks are insulated, but they can't get a truck back in there. I mean, he's there, and if you look right there, you can see those 3 trees that are leaning on that power line. So that's, you know, a good, I don't know, 150, 200 feet off the road. So, but it's not good. I'm glad I reported it, and in the process of reporting that, I told them, you know, hey, this big oak tree in the front yard, all the trees are dying. This big oak tree in the front yard leans right over top of the power line coming to the house. So yeah, I told him, hey, you know, if you're here to cut that down, you might as well cut this down too, and probably a couple of them other ones up there, as long as they're coming out, because I wouldn't trust that, you know, if I stand underneath of it, I wouldn't trust trying to cut that down myself. I mean, that limb would fall at least 8 or 10 feet, even though it's, you know, 6 inches in diameter up there. Once it falls, that's a whole lot of force, and snap that line, and then that's on me? No, let them deal with it. So he's still sitting down there. We'll see what they do.